COVID-19 has exposed some of the pre-existing vulnerabilities in the global food system. So mass movement of people, in some cases from urban areas back to their villages, restrictions on movement have made it more difficult for farmers to get inputs such as seed and fertiliser, and made it more difficult to sell their produce. But this has occurred on top of problems like fall armyworm and locusts in Africa and African swine fever, and more difficult climatic conditions that climate change was throwing up anyway. So it's a reminder that we actually need to look at the underlying drivers of lack of resilience in the food system.
And I want to understand how serious a food crisis can we see in big consumer markets like India and China, and especially also in developing or underdeveloped nations at this point, given these challenges that they're facing coming back out of the COVID-19 crisis?
Well, we were lucky, in inverted commas, we were lucky in a way that COVID-19 happened at a time when the world had historically quite high stocks of food. So the real challenge will come in the next growing season and the one after that if farmers are unable to sow or unable to harvest or unable to get their produce to market. That's when we'll start to see real potential shortages in particular hotspots. So governments this time around have been excellent in not restricting trade as much as what happened in 2007-8 with the food price spikes then, but it's fingers crossed at the moment to see that we're able to both grow, get some good growing seasons in, but also that farmers are able to get that produce to market. And there's a big question mark over that at the moment.
Right. How much of the answer lies in the government working with the private sector in this matter? Because left alone to fiscal policy, there is either way so much spending happening by governments world over. Do you think that it's time that the private sector also steps in and invests more in food supply chains?
You're absolutely right. The private sector has a huge role to play, both on farm, but in particular along the value chain. And we're seeing big and small private sector partners very keen to invest in improving the sustainability and the resilience of food supply chains. And through the CGIAR, but also through our own programs, we're seeing a lot of interest from the big agribusiness corporations and from smaller producers in country and value chain operators looking for ways to ensure that we can handle more climate variability, we can handle more extreme weather, but we need to send the right signals to smallholder farmers to enable them to adopt more resilient practices.